ran 150 and out yesterday. So.
It's interesting because as the rocket matches were going through, there was a lot of fight races that we've seen. What they have last one. 14.
Funny, I took Corey to a Russian pool hall in L.A. over 10 years ago.
Wow.
And it was both of our first time playing it, and then now he's become a regular in the tournament, so I gave it a shot when I was over there. Ruslan let me borrow his Russian billiard cue for the tournament.
No kidding.
Yeah, nice cue.
So in case anybody is confused about Russian billiards, what do we call it here in the United States?
Pyramids, I think.
Yeah. Ruslan has been one of the top players in Russia for some time now. With a young kid now coming out of there, Federer,
Mm-hmm.
playing extremely well.
Yes, he is. Federer and his buddy Maxime Dudanets and a couple other guys have a great YouTube channel, Billiard Brothers. They do a lot of drills on there, so the young players coming up who want to do some drills, check out their channel. Alright, that was important. He had to break those balls out. He's got the 9 ball there for a break shot, so now it's just a matter of finding his pattern and picking them off. Every time I looked over, saw Ruslan. He was playing some sets with another great player last night. Every time I looked over, it was just Ruslan shooting, break and run, playing 9 ball with the same racking and breaking situation as the International 9 ball championship, which starts in a couple days here. I think on Monday. Ruslan, about pool in Russia. He says nobody wants to gamble with him in Russia, so he gets kind of bored at home in Moscow.
Right.
So he's excited to be out here with competition. And doing very good. I hear you want to be kind of close to the center of the table. because that 9 ball is high up near the spot and close to the rack.
Well, it's been all Ruslan so far. Let's take a look at this replay, Max. This is what started it out early here. You see Albin Ouschan has called the 14 in the corner, his bottom right-hand corner.
Yep.
And he takes a big shot and just misses it. And so far, Ruslan has remained in control of the table.
That was a tough shot to control because there were so many balls between him and the combo. If he just had a combination that he had to control, he probably would have made that no problem. Question here is, does he have a shot on the 3 ball? Or that reddish looking ball? 5 ball.
5 ball.
Yep, he does. See that 7 ball dead center on the line. Right below the rack, that would make a nice little break shot. The insurance here is a little bit iffy, but it's kind of a nice pocket in the rack. The ball's probably open up. This tournament has a lot of great sponsors and also patron sponsors, just pool fans, like a wonderful couple, Dave and Magda. I don't want to say their last name wrong, but I've known them for a long time, and they're the friendliest people. And they put some money in and support, and they're friendly with the players. People like that keep this tournament. Keep it going. And one thing that's cool about this tournament is I think there's like $10,000 worth of entry fee, but 3 times that much in sponsorship money. So there's a lot of support from the industry and the patron sponsors, which we really appreciate as players out here. Because some of a lot of tournaments, they have a lot of the prize money comes from entry fees, and not so much, maybe half of that comes from sponsors. Of course, we'd all like to see pool get bigger and bigger with a lot more money coming from advertisers, stuff like that. Ruslan is just, they call him the Siberian Express, and he just keeps moving along.
He certainly looked like a runaway train here early.
He just zoned in. Peterborough has put a lot of work in calling sponsors and patron sponsors throughout the year. He must have worked 8 months out of the year putting this tournament together, and he was friends with Willie Mosconi, actually. Really loves straight pool. sweet break. Had the perfect angle to blast into him with follow. And right here, just looking at this. Nice spread. He's got to get to this 2 ball as soon as possible. But he'll have a nice angle to do that right now if he wants. Off of those 2 stripes down there in the lower right, he can open up that 5 ball. Or actually, it's the 1 ball. Might want to develop a break shot too. He's got the 9 ball could be a good break ball. So that's what you call getting to work early. That was his main problem early on, and he attacked it. And that's what you got to do when you're playing straight pool. You got to recognize problems and get to them as soon as possible. Don't save them for later. Do it right now, do it right now. If you can do it in the next shot, do it the next shot. If you can do it 2 shots from now, do it then. Don't save it for 3, 4, 5 shots down the road. Unless you have like 2, 3, 4 problems, then you gotta, get to them one at a time, or sometimes you can solve multiple problems in 1 shot. And that was another little issue you had to solve, getting on this 12 ball, which he did real nicely. Is a little issue as well. Might be able to just roll up right now and get it. Is a little bit of an issue because the 3 ball's blocking it, so in this case he might want to get to that 3 ball pretty soon, just to open up the 14. But if that 14 wasn't there and you have a ball table hanging real close to the pocket like that, then a lot of times you can leave that ball up there while you're trying to solve other problems down table, because if you run into a problem, it could be an insurance ball. Yeah, looks like he's at 13. Just use that as his key ball. Well, he's got a great angle here. It's a thin cut. Maybe he wanted another inch out of that shot. I'm not sure how thin this cut is, but if he has no problem making it, look for a nice break shot right here. Ruslan he's a child prodigy. When he was 14, he won the Kremlin Cup, which is the biggest tournament over in Russia. He beat Tony Drago in the finals. A great pool player and snooker player. I think because he hit the rack low is why they didn't spread open too much, and but he still got a good break, and he's got to think his way through these here. It's interesting if you get a chance to see him in person to see how he grips the cue. It's barely like he's not even gripping it. He's cradling it, and you can kind of hear that when he hits the ball. It just sounds like the pool cue is hitting the cue ball. He's got just enough pressure to control the cue and stroke it through the cue ball. So he's really relaxed. He manages to keep his nice relaxed grip, and you can tell he knows what he's doing with his backswing and follow through. He's worked on his game and his stroke a lot, and it's no accident that he's out here.
Still has to do something here. You see that the 12 and the 3 and the 8 bluster. Oh, he hit that nicely to come around.
Sure did, huh?
Great shot there by the Russian. Really, Maxie's got two possible break balls here. So judging by that shot, probably going to use the 14, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when the balls are clustered up but really not touching each other, a lot of times you can pick around them with a cue ball and not even bump into any of them if you choose the order correctly, which is what he almost did there when he got behind those balls. The more of that you can do playing straight pool, it's going to help your game. When you can make runs based on cue ball control and not so much just running into groups of balls all the time. But if you can sequence them off, you make one ball and then that opens up the pocket for a couple more balls, and then you make another one, it opens up this area for the other balls. But sometimes a strategic running into a cluster is good also. So a lot of it just comes down to having an insurance ball and a lot of experience and watching great players like Ruslan run some balls here.
Sure.
Kind of the brutal thing about straight pool is you get one player might run the whole set out.
Well, he's just 52 balls away now in this match race to 150. Ruslan has stepped away for a moment. So just hang tight, guys, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, Ruslan Chinahov is back to the table. Leading Albin Ouschan 98-0.
But Albin ran 151 balls last night in his match against Thorsten Holman.
Great prize purse here, Max. 42,000 added. First place 10,000. Second place 6. So pretty good payouts.
Yeah, I'm lamenting my break shots now. When I hear that prize money, I wouldn't mind being up here at the end myself.
Sure.
So this is what Ruslan is. What he wants to do is just run the whole set out here, the whole match, because he knows that if he doesn't, Albin is waiting in his chair to get up and run 150 balls on him. So there's that constant urgency to keep going. You can't. I mean, yeah, he's run over 100 balls right now, but that doesn't win the match for him. Tell you what, we're getting a nice exhibition of straight pool, though.
Absolutely, it's really good to see. Table's playing extremely well. You know, early on in the week, this table has actually played fairly tough.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of uncharacteristic misses, but it looks like it's playing very well right now because Ruslan is certainly dialed in.
Tell you what, it sounded like he got a bad contact on that hit, like a mini skid. Or that's just what it sounded like to me. He's a little straight here.
He's going to have to draw back here. He really hits that shot beautifully. Controlled draw.
Yep.
Your 5 and 6 ball tied up. He was trying to draw in here for an angle in the 11, I believe, so he can bump the 6 out. Draw right into this right now. Perfect.
Yeah, and he's got, if he wants, he can break with the 6 ball. If the 2 ball wasn't there, then he might just use the 6 ball as a break shot.
Yeah, that's a good point. How do you feel about the bottom break ball?
I'm liking it more and more.
Yeah, I like it because it's when you're coming up into the stack underneath, I feel like there's less of a chance for the cue ball to go somewhere you didn't intend it to.
Yeah, it's all about getting the cue ball out from underneath the bottom. I don't see a whole lot of scratches from that under the rack break shot, which is why I'm liking it more and more after I scratched a couple times yesterday. But I always thought it was a pretty shot, the underneath the rack break shot.
Play the 8 here on the side and just draw back a tad here.
Tell you what, though, he's I'd like to see him a little more draw on that, because that 2 is so high and close to the rack. If he had just, it means that this cut is pretty thin, and he could actually, the cue ball could go into the rack and bump a ball out and actually stop the 2 ball from going into the pocket. So there's a little danger here. He's got to make a real nice shot here. Not that much danger. Well, the way how good he hit that. I like that the cue ball was close to the 2. He could make a little mini break shot here with a 12. Get the 12 out of the way, and open up this cluster a little bit, and just watch where that cue ball goes after he hits into that 1 or the 7 if he chooses to do that.
Something really important about this game, Max, is it's not really about just bumping balls out, but you really have to pay attention to where you come into the ball. Whether you come in full or a little bit thinner, and try to predict where each one goes.
Yeah, I like that he didn't necessarily go into those, because that could have shoved those over into the other group of balls over there. The 4, 6, 11, and 8 could have caused some problems. So
Sure.
What he did, now he can, because the 7's open, he can use that. You might not even need to break these out too much, like if that 11 and 1 is a combo. Let's see how he handles it. Or maybe the combo right now. 115 might be a combo. Yeah, everybody watching, make sure you subscribe to Billiard Sports Network on YouTube so that you get notified every time a new video, a new tournament comes up. You want to be a subscriber here. Jake's helping Pool. Jake Lawson here is helping Pool grow. And check out Lights Out Apparel. His
Appreciate
clothing
that.
line that a lot of the top players are wearing. It's a real nice, classy line of clothing.
Thank you, Max.
Absolutely.
Just nudge this a little bit. Yeah. Ruslan he's very methodical as he's going through his shot selection here. I'm not sure that he intended to land exactly.
Like how he just walked right into that like it's another hanger.
Yeah.
It's part of the psychology of yourself when you're playing. And he trains enough. It's actually just like, it kind of is like a hanger. That shot was a hanger for Ruslan. He actually has the world record for a drill called the yo-yo, where you're shooting a ball frozen to the rail, usually with a similar angle like that. A lot of times you use outside English, low outside in that drill. Juice up this cue also.
He looks like he'll just hit a touch inside here and come off the rail. Perfect. Ruslan is putting on an absolute clinic here this morning. 126-0 over Albin Ouschan. So Max, out of everybody left, who do you like? Do you have somebody in mind that you think can get there?
In this tournament?
Yeah.
Well, last night I picked Ruslan actually, just after watching him run that 150. And just the way he did it, so smooth and pretty quick. He's not like running around the table, but he's moving pretty quick actually. You know, he's just flowing from shot to shot and making a lot of nice decisions and nice cue ball control.
Of course, the other semifinal match left that will be played at 2 p.m. is Alex Pagulayan versus Marco Teucher.
Well, Alex is getting inducted into the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame here this week. Will be his actual induction at the banquet at the International 9-Ball Open. And he can play some straight pool. I think he might even have a high run around 400.
Wow.
He plays it real slow and takes his time, makes decisions. I've been criticized before for playing slow straight pool in the past. And I think Alvin plays it pretty slow. He probably can play it fast if he wants to. But you know what? When you make high runs and win matches, it's kind of hard to argue with.
Sure, yeah.
Whether you're playing fast or slow, you know. Like, if you play rip too fast and then make a mistake, what good is that? You know. So the main thing is getting the job done. But I like to play at a little bit faster clip, actually. Like, it's more fun.
Yeah, it's more fun, and certainly it helps you to get in a better rhythm, I would imagine.
Yeah. Schmidt plays pretty fast. Mr. 600 now. He holds the official world record for the high run at straight pool now at 626.
Yeah, what an accomplishment that has been. I don't think anybody thought for a long time that Mosconi's record would be broken.
I had a chance to talk to him a couple days ago about it, and he said he ran 490 like a week before he broke the record.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've talked a little bit about that on the stream. While 626 is certainly an excellent accomplishment, I think the body of work leading up to that, I mean, all the 200s, 300s, 400s, you know, that in itself is an accomplishment, I think.
Absolutely.
Nice. He's come down into the 9-ball nicely here. See him put a little low outside English here. Just come right into that 13. Perfect.
Yeah, you get the sense that he's controlling everything. He's not just drawing in those and to break them out and hope for the best. He's looked like he had a good idea what was going to happen. Well, that one was a little weird to me.
And
He knows
he knows.
something. I don't know what he was doing. Well, the 8 went, so it wasn't so bad after all. This is tricky here too. Well, no, he can just float over off the 13. As long as you don't scratch here, just bring it over to the rail and off the rail a little bit. Or you could do that, don't even hit the rail.
Perfect shot.
That's what happens when you're in dead punch and your name is Ruslan Chinahov.
Certainly looking like the Siberian Express today. Take a look at this replay from Ruslan. Yeah, he comes up a little short here on this shot, and he's just been flowing so nicely around the table. You'll see him get down and just come off this rail and kick the 14 ball in. Didn't take too much time either.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty straightforward shot. And
made it look like a hanger, didn't he?
yeah, certainly did.
It's all about the break shot, and look at this.
Not gonna like this, Max. At 141. You can't believe it.
I think the crowd wants to see Albin at the table, and maybe the pool gods do also.
Imagine he's gonna take a little time here.
Yeah.
See if there's anything that's dead.
Well, he could shoot that 4 ball off of the 10, cut or the 5. I think the 5, he could cut it and carry it off the 10.
Looks like he's called the 1 on the side. Eight, I can't tell here what he's shooting at.
Got a clap for that one. He's just being generous and letting Alvin put on a show too. This has makings of a historical match.
I think the fans want to see a close match here. 141 high run in this match for Ruslan.
14.1, 141.
Yeah. Lucky on the break shot.
Cruel game pool is, especially straight pool.
Right.
Straight pool can be more cruel than any other game. He opens his account, ladies and gentlemen. Needs 149 more.
Nice combination shot by Albin Ouschan. Albin hailing from Austria, and his sister Jasmine Ouschan, pool player as well.
And a world champion at that. She made a name for herself being the number 1 female pool player in the world for quite a while.
So certainly in the blood here for Ouschan.
In fact, I didn't even know she had a brother who played pool. For a long
Really?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was younger and from Europe, so we don't know what's going on all the time in the States. And he came out of the woodwork and became a world 9-ball champion and Moscone Cup MVP.
He certainly has a lot of accolades. Needs no introduction, and he can run 150 out here as well.
Currently only has the high run for the tournament at 151, I believe. That's what it takes to beat Thorsten Holm and keep him in his chair, because he might do that to you. So far, he's handled this rack pretty good. He can probably save that 15 for his key ball and use the 5 as his break shot later.
Certainly he's happy. Obviously. out there. Like to use that for his break ball. Ball.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting to shoot again once Ruslan was at 140.
You can see there he hit that pretty firm. He was trying to come a little further up table for the 1.
Mm-hmm.
He played the 1-4 and then get to the 50. Underneath, but he should be okay. You'll see him. If he likes to take it here, I think he'll just cut it and come off the long rail.
Yeah.
Certainly when you're sitting for testers, I guess.
Yeah. Straight pool's amazing.
He's okay. He didn't have to force it because he could just play the 4 here.
Yep.
You see him come off the rail now. He's got the 1 ball on the side.
I think he might be straighter than he wanted. So.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Looks like it sounded like a weird little hit there
Yeah.
also. It's a little mini skid.
Slide it up. Perfect.
Okay, so sure helps once you get like a couple racks under your belt, a couple good successful break shots.
Yeah, Max, talk a little bit about we just saw Ruslan run 141.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Albin has been sitting for quite a while. You know, that's obviously got to be something that you have to cope with. Playing straight pool that you don't have to cope with normally in rotation games. How do you handle that? You know, while you're sitting there waiting for your shot to stay focused. You know, what do you do to go through that progression?
I'm thinking when I get up to again, I'm just gonna take one rack at a time. It's like a round of boxing, each rack. And you focus on this rack right here. So you gotta be kind of like a fighter.
Right.
You're not gonna win the whole fight in one rack. You're not gonna run 100 or 150 balls in one rack. So don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. And you just gotta fight hard to manage the frame right now and get to your break shot, and then do it all over again the next rack.
Right.
You know. So yeah, you just try to compartmentalize it. And that would be even when you're the front runner.
Right.
You know. Yeah, but to come out of the chair, it makes it double tough to do it. But that's how I approach it. You know.
Good insight there.
That's what I was doing yesterday anyway, and it got me to the break shot. But then I kept scratching off the break shot. But at least I was shooting okay.
Foul, really. So he's got to be careful.
He wants to get rid of that 13 at some point. If he can make it now, that'll help out. Yeah. Almost make this 14, hit the rail, and then bump into that one ball. And that would hold him in a good spot for this combination down here on the lower right.
Oh no.
Yeah, we didn't want to be in that kind of longer shot situation.
I feel like he had some other options there.
Well, Ruslan, he needs 9 balls, so he doesn't need a break shot here. Yeah, it's tough to get out of the chair, and
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. I mean, do you think that had a little bit to do with cold for so long?
yeah, definitely a lot of pressure and being cold and sitting there, nobody wants to get out of the chair after 45 minutes or an hour, and you know when you're just practicing, you don't want to sit down for 45 minutes and then get up and expect to be playing your best game. You want to walk, take a little walk to the pool hall, walk from your car. I mean,
Right.
that's why Mike Siegel and those guys would call it the electric chair.
Sure.
And with the wooden benches and chairs here in this beautiful pool room, it kind of felt even more like an electric chair than normal.
Well, Ruslan, back to work quickly here. Just 2 balls away now.
Yeah, I think if Albin had ran that one, maybe a couple more, would have been, you might have seen the 150 and out,
Yeah.
Nice job, Ruslan. Great tournament, Albin.
Ruslan Chinahov 150 over Albin Ouschan 17. And here's the shot, Max, that turned the table back over. You see Albin sitting in his chair for 141 balls. Has a long shot here on the 14 ball, and you see he just hits it into the rail there.
You know what? It looked like he stroked it more like a shorter shot. He didn't give it his longer shot stroke,
Well, guys, we're going to have up next for you Marco Teutcher versus Alex the Lion, Paggy Lion. So another exciting match. That'll be coming up at 2 p.m. So maybe a little earlier. We'll see what happens. But make sure you stay tuned.